Okay, shall we start? It's my great pleasure to introduce the last speaker for our symposium, whose name is Nao Tokui. And he's an artist, but also he is a researcher of AI technologies. And I learned it's not obvious from his bio, but he's actually, his PhD was in AI technology. So he's a developer of several AIs, I think. But today he's going to discuss the future of generative AIs from a perspective of an artist. Okay, so over to you.
My name is Nao Tokui. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to share my previous projects and my thoughts, the future of AI. And I want to basically provide a new perspective from the artist who uses AI and who develops AI technology. And so again, I'm an artist and researcher, and I'm a founder and CEO of Cosmo and Newton. And I want to briefly talk about Newton, my new company, in later slides. But okay. So this is how I started back in 90s, actually. So it's 26 years ago or 25 years ago. I was a student in AI laboratory of Tokyo University, and I started DJing and started making music. But I actually don't play any musical instrument, and I don't know how to read musical scores. So then I basically struggled to make new, unique, and original music. So naturally, I turned into AI, and I started thinking like how I can use AI to create something new and original. And this led to my first research project. So I developed music generation system for myself using AI and genetic algorithms. And I used neural network with only 3 layers. Now people talk about billion of parameters, but it's much smaller. The model I used was much smaller, and I feel like it's like light years apart. But that was 2000, and I used this technique using AI to create new music and released several albums and singles. And so this is how I started. And this is my agenda from the day one. So basically, I want to make something interesting and unique and unimaginable by myself. So I want to make something which I cannot make by myself using AI. And so I want to reach new ideas beyond my own creativity with the help of AI. And so that I can extend and expand my own creativity. Okay. So nowadays, when people talk about AI, people tend to think AI is just for mimicking and reproducing what human artists has been working on and making. But I think there is huge potential for artists to utilize new AI technology to extend their artistic capability and creativity. And I want to provide tools for artists to explore that avenue as an AI researcher and developer. And also I want to use those new technology to create something new by myself. And that was, again, how I started. And now in 2024, as you know, you can create this super realistic music by just typing a short prompt. So this is like lo-fi hip hop from Creativity and AI in Kyoto. And the question is, why? So now it's possible, and why do I still use AI, or do I still try to use AI to compose new music? And more broadly, does AI make us more creative or not? That's a question I've been asking. And I want to talk about two projects. The first one is AI DJ project. As I said, I started as a DJ, so naturally I did this project. And initially it was like a back-to-back DJ session with me and an AI system. So I play one song, then the AI system can select next song and play that song after me. And AI actually, so I put like a pose recognition systems so that the AI can tell like how much people are dancing on the floor, and that parameter was reflected to the music selection. And so this is not an attempt to automate the process of DJ. I just wanted to explore new possibility of DJing using AI. And I want to basically surprise myself with AI. And initially, I trained this model, the playlist of professional DJs, but it turned out to be very boring and very average DJ set. So I abandoned the first system and I made a very simple system that analyzed the similarity of songs in my record collection. And it turned out to be very successful and interesting. And I was so surprised by the selection, like a somewhat unexpected but reasonable selection of AI. And I was so fortunate to have this opportunity to play in front of Sundar Pichai, like a Google CEO, and in front of like 15,000 people with this AI system. It was nerve-wracking experience. But so this is a project I started back in 2015, and the technology was not so matured, and also I didn't try to imitate human musical selection. So sometimes the system did very strange but amusing music selections. And I remember the system chose a jazz song after a techno song, and I initially thought it's a huge mistake, but it turned out to be very interesting mix. And so I think I learned how to be open to like unexpected AI's behavior, and I think I enjoyed like embracing those interesting mistakes and errors of AI. And I did, in the same year, I think, I did this performance with flamenco, Spanish flamenco dancer named Israel Galvan. And he's very popular and well-known figure in flamenco. But basically, this is like a back-to-back dance session with Israel himself and AI model trained on his on zapateado or tap dance. And he said something super interesting. He said, I don't need a perfect copy of a flamenco dancer. I just want to be surprised. So I think that resonates me a lot. And 9 years later, this is how current AI DJ performance looks like. It's now a performance, like a live performance using AI-based real-time audio generation model. So everything you hear now is generated by AI in real time on the front. And on stage, I use various different AI models to generate loops, and as a DJ, I mix them. And so each AI model was trained on different music data, such as bass line or rhythm, melodies. And as a DJ, I can mix with the output of those models. And I can tweak the parameters on the fly to make it more aggressive or, I don't know, that's easy. Yeah, and this is how the system works. So behind the scene, I used GAN, or generative adversarial networks. So you may have seen this kind of AI-generated faces, but in this case, I used the same system for generating spectrogram on the right, and so that I can, make sound like this. Yeah, so this is different from what you can do with Suno or Udio. And here you have like instant and fine-grained and non-verbal interaction with AI. And so if I slightly change one of the parameters, I instantly get a new, slightly different audio loop. And at the same time, as in the back-to-back DJ session, you cannot control everything. And sometimes the system behaves very unexpectedly. And that's super important for me. So I got goosebumps sometimes when I hear something I've never listened to was generated by the AI. It happens. And I also enjoy the status between like a total control and a no control, or like a active and passive. And it feels like I'm riding horse or surfing. Actually, I've never ridden horse, but I'm a surfer, so I use metaphor of surfing. So I was like an AI jockey, not a disc. And I think this is like an interesting and a very important point. Like I don't want to. So I think I use AI as a tool, but it's more than tool actually. So by using tool, you want to control everything. But by using AI, I don't want to control everything. I want to be surprised. And that's a good aspect of AI technology. And that's the different aspect from other previous technologies. And the second project I want to bring here is Newton project. I started in 2022, and I founded the company last year. And here I want to emphasize the importance of misuseable small AI models and tools. And when you look back the history of music, you realize that it is in fact the history of misused and misappropriated technologies. So the turntable and samplers are a prime example. I remember when I touched my father's record, and he got upset. And but DJ, it's strange. I do that all the time nowadays. But so that's a good example of misused technology. And I think AI technology for artists should be misuseable. And so in order to encourage misuse, I think AI tools should be easy to use and integrated into the daily workflow of the musicians and the artists. And also, it should be small and personal rather than like a huge and universal and generic. And I think it should be customizable and trainable. And this is super important, very important, because models nowadays are huge, and you need like hundreds of GPUs to train. And so basically, you are forced to play in the defined domain, like defined by like a Silicon Valley huge companies, and I want to break that. And this is the same thing. Yeah, I want to make something in between, like a commercial product, like one click and you get a song, or you have to in Python use new AI technology. So I want to make something in between. Then this is why I developed and started this project called Newton. Newton is basically a new synthesizer and new effector software for musicians, and it's super simple. So I want to show this quick. So this is the input, and you can get totally different in real time. And musicians actually started using their own way, box into djembe or
Have you thought about plugging a guitar into a death metal vocalist?
And the best part of this project is you can train your own model by just uploading your sound data. And yeah, that's the same thing. And I want to emphasize here that the current AI model, current generative AI model is not the only form of generative AI. We can imagine and create different form and different use case of generative AI. So you don't have to use generative AI to generate whole song, and you can provide new tools for artists. Let's get back to the original project question I posed in the beginning. Does AI make us more creative? And I think it's very important to discuss which creativity are you talking about here? Which creativity? And so creativity, maybe you are familiar with this definition, but this is a definition by Margaret Borden. According to Margaret Borden, creativity is ability to generate new, valuable, and surprising ideas and artifacts. And also Borden defines category or types of creativity. Combinatorial creativity is the most common type of creativity that combines existing ideas to create new ones. Peanut jelly butter sandwich, or mentaiko pasta, and iPhone was introduced as like a combination of cell phone, music player, and web browser. And exploratory creativity refers to the process of generating novel ideas by exploring the existing conceptual space. This is a bit tricky. And the most rare form of creativity is transformational creativity, materialize new ideas which other people never imagined that such ideas, such styles could ever existed, and eventually extend the whole realm of ideas and expressions. And the current generative AI models, such as Suno and Udio, creative. I think I must admit that. But I argue that they are creative in the context of combinational creativity. So they are trying to reproduce the inherent statistical patterns of the training data. So they are good at mimicking existing styles and combining them, but they cannot generate new instance. They can generate new instance within the known realm of styles and genres. But Suno and Udio cannot generate completely new ideas. I don't think Udio or Suno can exhibit transformational creativity. Okay, and so this is my argument as the second argument. So I believe that Udio or any other generative AI for generating medias, they are not a new form of music making or image making or a new form of creating something. I think we should see them as a new form of consumption or music listening. So as I said, you can generate new music by typing into Suno, but they are just like a mixture of existing ideas and mixing cultural artifacts. So it's like instead of inserting a CD into your CD player or searching on Spotify, now you can type into Suno or Udio to get new song, but it's just new form of consumption or new form of music listening. And why this is important? Because I think it sets the stage to discuss the following, like a copyright of training data and plagiarism. And also, I think it set the stage to discuss the new form of creative activities in between, like a production and consumption, such as DJing and mashup and making playlist. So yeah, DJ is interesting because it's in between like consumer and producer of cultural artifact. And by using AI, you are actually, by using AI for creative activities, you became more like a DJ, not like a composer. You can access existing ideas and combine them, but you're not creating something completely new with AI. I think this perspective is helpful to start discussing those concepts and ideas. Yeah, thank you so much. So I wrote a book on the topic in English called Surfing Human Creativity with AI. And I'm happy if you can buy this. If you buy this, but actually you can download the whole PDF from my website. So please Google it. And in Japanese, I published the same book, 作るための AI. So yeah, thank you so much.